Hello everyone, thank you very much for joining us today for this webcast together with Alliander. And today we're going to look at how Alliander quickly deployed mobile using Syclo's mobile solution, working together with SAP and Accenture. So on that note, I'd like to express my gratitude right from the get-go to Alliander, SAP and Accenture for making this webcast happen. My name is Raj Singh. I look after business development for Syclo across EMEA and Asia Pacific. And I'm going to be joined today by Ronald Noot from Alliander, who's a senior architect on the Syclo and mobile project, and also on the Alliander SAP for All program. So moving rapidly into the agenda, what we're going to look at today is the value of mobile. What is it that mobile delivers for our customers, historically speaking? We're going to look at SAP's mobile strategy in enterprise asset management and field service. We're going to look at how mobile can be rapidly deployed using a rapid application framework. And that's going to lead into the Alliander success story, at which Ronald Noot will take over and go into detail, which is the real purpose of this webcast, so that you can get a better idea of how mobility was realized and the kind of results it's delivering and will deliver in the future. Following on from that, we'll look at suggested next steps and what we can do together with yourselves in order to help realize your mobile project. So let's begin taking a brief moment to tell you about Syclo. Syclo is a 14, near 15-year-old mobile innovator with headquarters in Chicago and London. We have well over 120 staff who are seasoned veterans in the area of mobile solutions. We focus solely on delivering high ROI mobile solutions into certain specific segments like utilities, where we've got the vast amount of our experience. But following closely on from that, we have a lot of experience in life sciences, oil and gas, enterprise asset management, transportation, CRM field service, and many other segments. We provide a suite of pre-integrated, highly configurable mobile applications with strong industry-specific functionality, which we've gained in nearly 15 years of experience dealing with customers just like yourselves who face the same kind of issues that you do. And in doing so, we're able to deliver the kind of solutions that are going to make sense for your line of business. All our solutions are flexible. They're all built using the Asian Tree mobile platform, which Gartner has recognized as being in the leaders quadrant when it comes to mobile enterprise application platforms. So you can deal safe in the knowledge that you can have one mobile provider to cater for the vast majority of your mobile requirements. And you can also take comfort in the fact that well over 750 customers globally are using Syclo Mobile. All of them are running the same mobile platform, all of them satisfying mission-critical mobile requirements across their businesses. We work together with many partners out in the field, chief amongst them IBM, SAP, Accenture, and many others. And as we were saying earlier, we have the recognition of not just having good mobile solutions, but also being recognized by Gartner and a lot of other industry analysts. So in summary, Syclo is a company that you can trust with a lot of experience in the kind of segments and applications that you're going to find important in your line of business. In terms of the SAP strategy, well, that changed last year. SAP changed their strategy from one where they used to build their own mobile solutions to one where they actually partner with the best-of-breed mobile solution partners in the field. So let me define what having this co-innovation with SAP actually means in terms of an end-to-end mobility solution and why that's important. In a nutshell, it means that SAP and Syclo truly collaborate and innovate in all aspects of joint mobile solution offerings. Therefore, the product's entire life cycle including product roadmap, solution specification, development, joint testing, go-to-market, and importantly, support will be a joint effort between Syclo and SAP. That's great news for SAP customers because they're able to immediately benefit from low-cost mobile applications based on both SAP and Syclo product specifications, and benefit from the fact there is a joint agreed roadmap between the companies. Syclo has already received SAP certification after a lot of rigorous solution qualification, ensuring that the SAP customers can have the peace of mind when dealing with Syclo that the mobile solutions perform in a reliable manner with all SAP installations. So our joint collaboration with SAP also ensures that customers, just like yourself, can confidently receive the same level of support and resolution going forward. And that's the same level of support that you've come accustomed to. So in fact, the solution has been identified as mission critical by SAP. Customers can in fact call SAP or Syclo for support, and Syclo is part of SAP Solution Manager support system. SAP provides all level 1 support, so the comfort factor is deep and customer satisfaction remains paramount. So as you can see here on this slide, customers like Terrace and Gas, PG&E, BP, all positively received the agreement between SAP and Syclo and the co-innovation partnership. So the products are deployed, they're real, and we can go and look at exactly what we're speaking about when we talk about the Smart Suite for SAP systems. So within this space, Syclo has a number of pre-built solutions. These include a solution for the technician, which is a Smart Work Manager for SAP. Then we've got the Smart Inventory Manager, which is a solution for technicians, storeroom personnel, and warehouse operatives. We've got a solution called Smart Rounds for inspectors, and there's a solution called Smart Service, and this is for field service linked to SAP CRM. So all these solutions are pre-built, and all they require is configuration to meet workflow requirements, user interface requirements, and to make the solutions much more specific towards your look and feel and what the kind of work that you're actually going to do in the field. As you can see from this mobile device, it's an SAP endorsed solution, so it carries the SAP logo. Again, another major reassurance. So we'll be hearing shortly from Alliander, but this was the solution that we delivered to Alliander. And as you can see, it caters for a vast amount of requirements across the organization. These cover everything from CATS reporting, to performing inspections, to surveys, to work management, communication, and best of all, the one solution working or being able to work on both laptops as well as PDAs. So the solution is not just configurable and scalable, but it works online and offline, and it's very tightly integrated with SAP and fully supported as you'd expect. So the benefits of mobile are many. One of them, which often comes to mind, is the ability to reduce costs. So not only does Syclo's solution help cut time that might be spent waiting, traveling or communicating, but there's real effective savings in paperwork. So the ability to manage tools, spare parts, inventory, keep assets running at peak performance. And as you can see from this diagram, to be able to cut very elongated processes down to the minimum number of steps using a digital-to-digital delivery system of information. So on average, our customers have been able to slash the cost of processing a work order dramatically, and these savings can be realized by yourselves. Increasing productivity is a natural conclusion as a result of this more efficient way of working. We spoke about eliminating paperwork, but these savings end up in the range of 40 to 60 minutes on average per technician. Now imagine the power of being able to spend that kind of time performing one additional work order per day. The resulting impact that would have on the organization in terms of the number of work orders completed, customer satisfaction, it adds up over time. So the ability to increase productivity is another one of the major benefits that mobile provides. And the ability to integrate with multiple systems using a composite application approach means that the rekeying of information into multiple systems is also eliminated. Streamlining of operations is another important benefit that can be realized. In this way, customer service improves, as does satisfaction within the customer base. Processes can be standardized. Data backlogs can be terminated and effectively reduced. So also elimination of handwriting, guesswork involved in trying to interpret the technician's writing when entering data. So not just streamlining your operations, but real quality of information gets entered into systems. And the resulting fact is shortening response times. And in major industries like utilities, this can have a significant impact in reducing the duration of outages and complying with government regulations. So the benefits of mobile are huge, and they shouldn't be underestimated. And we can certainly work with you to help discover what impact mobile can have within your organization. We have a rapid application framework which allows you to realize the benefits of working with a pre-built solution, helping to configure the workflow. The SAP integration is there out of the box because it's an SAP approved and solution qualified system. It's flexible, so you've got 100% flexibility in being able to configure the solution to meet specific requirements. And it's deployable by an IT team and system integrators globally. So there's little need for programming, coding or development. And this makes for a much faster realization time. So mobile benefits can be realized quickly, easily and efficiently. But the technology itself is extremely flexible and agile. We've got the ability to deploy this solution today and incorporating new technologies into the future because all our customers use the same platform globally. And this allows us to integrate with multiple different back-end systems, so working with SAP, but also many of your historical systems. Perhaps you have data historians, document management systems, or legacy systems, all of which hold important information which is required in the field, and where information gathered in the field needs to be re-entered. We can allow you to take real granular control over network usage, so you can decide which network to use, and more to the point, what needs to get synchronized over which network and when. In this way, you can have real SLA-based communications and take real control of the cost of communications as well. Syclo supports a multitude of mobile devices. Currently, well over 100 mobile devices are supported straight out of the box. This includes Windows Mobile, laptops, tablets, BlackBerry, iPhone, iPad, and many others. So you're able to use the best mobile solution for the work at hand. Interestingly, you can also incorporate and make best use of mobile printers, photography, barcode reading, RFID, GIS integration, and lots of other peripheral integration as well. And many of our customers are awfully concerned about security. Well, security is built into our solutions. And it's for this reason many government agencies have chosen Syclo, because it does represent a very secure solution that's designed to work offline by default, but also work online when required. We spoke a little about architecture earlier on and integration into different systems. Well, here's a visual representation of Syclo integrating with multiple different systems. such as customer information systems, outage management systems, GIS, scheduling, EAM. Now, your environment may not be as complicated as this, but it's a relief to know that Syclo is able to integrate and has the flexibility using SOA to integrate with multiple different systems. And as your systems develop over time, you can be reassured by the fact that the mobile solution does not need to change, and neither does the technician need to be impacted by developments and changes in the back-end systems. So it all makes for a long-term investment which is solid and sound moving forward. We have no intermediate database, there's no duplication of data, and we act as a pure transaction database. The data flows cleanly from the back end to the front end, and Syclo merely enforce the rules. We also last year added mobile device management, which allows you to monitor and control the mobile device out in the field, but also to be able to update the application, reset, reload, and improve things as you get feedback from the field. This allows your mobile solution to be out there, doing what it's supposed to be doing for the maximum amount of time, so you can manage all of the mobile deployment that you have throughout its life cycle from the comfort of the office, knowing that Syclo can take care of all of this. So on this note, I'd like to hand over to Ronald Noak from Alliander, who's going to talk you through some of the challenges and benefits that they realized in deploying Syclo as part of the SAP for All program. Ronald, take it away.
Thank you very much, Raj. And hello everyone, and thank you for allowing me to share some information about our field force enablement deployment. My name is Ronald Noak, and I'm the lead architect responsible for the SAP ecosystem of Alliander. I will start with a short introduction of our company. After that, I will give an overview of the SAP for All program, which is our main project delivery platform for the SAP-related changes within Alliander. I will try to keep these introductions short, so we can continue to the good part as soon as possible. As you can see here, Alliander is based in the Netherlands. We also have a small operation in Germany. We used to be a fully integrated gas and electricity utilities company, but in 2008 the company was split up into Nuon, production and supply company, and a dedicated grid company named Alliander. What you see here are general key figures for the year 2008. We are currently finalizing the takeover of a smaller grid company, which is also based in the Netherlands. Because of this, we will be managing and operating about 5.5 million connections by the end of this year. We are a publicly owned company. Our shareholders consist of local governments, for example, the city of Amsterdam. As you can see here, for the next couple of years, our executive management defined 4 strategic teams, mainly centered around our general strategy of growth. Alliander still believes that by increasing the size of our company, we can realize better economies of scale. We're still not the optimal size for a company in our field. We see considerable opportunities for improvement in a number of our business processes, designing them from the client's point of view. We call this world-class customer management. As many grid companies, intelligent grid management, such as smart meters and related technology, are needed in the future to enable growing dynamic utilization of the grid. For instance, through increasingly decentralized power generation. Finally, operational excellence. We regard operational excellence as an important condition for success. In order to continue to take the lead within the regulation standard and to be the best of quality of service, Lean is part of our culture of continual improvement. Lean is a management philosophy aimed at reducing waste and matters that provide no added value. The unique feature of Lean is a strong confidence in the knowledge on the shop floor and the way in which the shop floor is involved in the optimization. Within the operational excellence team, mobile solutions function as an enabler of strategy. As said before, we use the SAP for All program for all our SAP related changes. Currently, the program doesn't only support business change by implementing IT, but also by initiating business improvement. This program is considered of strategic importance for the whole corporation. Its importance is magnified by the fact that our CEO is chairman of the program board, and other members of this board include the CIO and the CFO. I've been the lead architect of this program since it started in 2007. So far for the mandatory introductions. Now I would like to explain the process which we use to define our requirements for the mobile solution. While the program in Alliander as a whole was focused on the unbundling process, a small group of consultants and architects started to design the future architecture for Alliander as a standalone grid company. A high-level result of that you see in this slide. For experts among you, it will not be a surprise that a standard enterprise asset management best practice served as the basis for this design. Alliander chose to leverage her existing investment in her SAP suite and to continue using Small World and Esri geographical information systems. The alternative was to build up a new landscape based on other vendors. This option was deemed inefficient. This was the to-be context for our search for a suitable software provider for what Alliander calls field force enablement. We found it essential to consider the future mobile platform as a piece of a much larger puzzle. The to-be architecture we had provided us with our goal, but we also had an as-is context. As you can see here, we had just over 1,000 devices in use for different processes. These devices were in use in one of 3-point solutions. Effectively, there was no synergy between the solutions. They were diverse on both a functional and a technical level. The heterogeneous design of this mobile landscape was a source of inefficiency. The biggest inefficiency was the fact that a lot of processes didn't have mobile support at all. Paper still reigned supreme within Alliander. The organization did recognize these inefficiencies. Different groups suggested individual solutions for individual problems. At that point, we had current initiatives, 2 mobile solutions currently in use, many mobile projects on the horizon. Home connection department solution was planning to extend to cover 2 additional work types for 2009. There were plans to enhance field service automation to bring capabilities to the Netcare organization in 2009 and 2010. Field service and automation being the old solution for that business unit. There was an introduction of mobile solutions for the rollout of smart meters. The department was expressing the desire to move the service workforce to a multi-skilled model, enabled by mobile devices in 2011. And all of these initiatives make use of different mobile solutions. And of course, this led to many challenges. For example, developing applications in silos restricts flexibility, with workforce structure limited by technology. Not all of the current initiatives and applications were compliant with IT reliability and security standards. Also, several of the applications in use by Alliander are controlled or owned by other organizations. For example, there's this contractor Brink, which was part of our solution for the home connection department, and a third party for services and meter data collection. Adding new mobile processes requires expensive duplication of components, with a consequent increase in IT build and maintenance cost. The back-end landscape continues to evolve as all the systems are replaced. The business was in danger of creating a landscape where mobile IT costs spiral out of control, especially as the existing systems age and need to be upgraded. From an architecture point of view, this situation wasn't acceptable. In the end, we asked our executive management basically the following question. Would you like to continue on the high cost, high risk current methods? Will you give us a mandate to implement an integrated, modern solution based on a solid plan? And as is often the case, our management made an excellent choice and did give us the mandate to implement a solution based on a consistent strategy. So we knew where we stood and where we wanted to go. So what did we require to get there? Of course, the solution needs to fit within the SAP architecture. We had minimal requirements towards flexibility, but we want reusable components, not only our own components, but also we wanted to reuse components provided by the software supplier. This implied off-the-shelf technology. Besides that, each field worker will use a single device suitable for their role. Laptops, tablets and PDAs should be supported. And he will use a single application to access all work types. Any new mobile application will be developed by reusing parts of this platform or by building missing parts of the vision. However, this platform cannot be implemented as a big bang. We must build towards the platform in a series of steps, delivering only those components which deliver business value. Technology components should be selected pragmatically to avoid over-engineering, and also by that we avoid extra cost involved by over-engineering. That was the short version. On this slide you see the complete solution vision. This vision was the end result. It is based on the expertise provided by Accenture and Alliander's own specific business knowledge. This vision is recognized by the major stakeholders as the way forward. We don't have time at this moment to discuss this whole vision, but I would really suggest that people take the time to read this another time. I'm still very excited by this result, even if it's not a month old by this time. As you see, we have this huge vision, and we have over 1,000 employees with tens of different roles which can be supported by a mobile platform. Because of this, we planned on a stage implementation, seeing that the Big Bang was far from realistic. You see our first project here for the home department, which is live currently. You also see the second project, which already started recently, for the technical inspections department. We tend to decide on the next project step by step. But before we started the project, we still had to select a vendor for the platform. We started a very formal request for product process. In the end, Syclo closed the deal. I even dare to say she won it with great ease. Here you see 7 reasons why we chose Syclo, but there were more reasons. In this list, you may recognize different roles expressing different benefits. Me personally, as an architect, I was very excited about the strategic partnership with SAP and the out-of-the-box features. Our technical guys really like the rapid application framework very much. Security is valued very highly within our company, and please note that information security management was really impressed with the level of security provided out of the box. As stated before, Accenture guided us on this trip, and what can I say about Accenture? As many times before, they once again provided skilled consultants, international experts, and superb management to help Alliander reach their goals. They are a long-time partner of Alliander and have been part of the SAP program since it started. And as you can see, they were essential for this implementation. They were part from it from the beginning until now and are still our main implementation partner for the current and following projects for mobile solutions. For the first implementations you saw on an earlier slide, we were able to reuse existing hardware, being the Motorola MC70. We will start using the more advanced MC75 in the near future. Syclo makes it possible to integrate with different hardware. The inspection organization uses a ruggedized laptop, in which we are currently implementing a Syclo-based solution. On this slide you see a summarization of our keys to success. We used a lot of out-of-the-box features, but as is often the case, some customization was needed. As expected, the rapid application frameworks was very helpful for the fast and smooth implementation. Please keep in mind that a skilled developer is an expensive resource in the Netherlands, so this was of much value to us. We also realized we didn't have the knowledge and experience on board in our local team. So we not only used knowledge provided by Syclo, but we also used Accenture resources from India, which helped to keep the project within time and budget. As a general best practice within the SAP for All program, we started involving the end users from the start. This is not only from a change management perspective, but we also wanted to use the shop floor knowledge, which also is part of our lean philosophy. Choosing a project with a positive business case on its own helps ramp up management support for the first project. You cannot expect management to be enthusiastic on architecture alone. With a business case which starts being positive after, for example, the third project has gone live, you will never get any permission for a project like that. And based on the success, Alliander decided to digitalize the inspection process, a project we currently are deploying. As stated on the previous slide, we realized we didn't have all the knowledge available in our local team. So Syclo's knowledge can really help to make good designs. In a mobile solution project, there's a lot of different kinds of technology converging on this one project. This creates opportunities because of independent development is possible. This can really shorten the total technical design and build time. But when parallel development is chosen, new risks are introduced. The different solutions still need to be aligned. What we used to mitigate this was introducing a master developer. This master developer basically functioned as a software architect who kept track of the overall quality. As explained before, we reused existing hardware. A small price to pay for the reuse is the fact that you are forced to use older technology. In a lot of cases, there is no or only minor impact from this choice. In our case, the hardware was not enabled for 3G or better communication. The experts among you will know that the difference between 2G and 3G is huge. From a cost perspective, this was still a good trade-off. But at some point we needed to expand on the amount of devices. The mistake we made was that nobody added the requirement that the new devices were using 3G. Having 2G and 3G devices in the same populations wouldn't have been a problem. So we lost the opportunity to use 3G for part of our population. As said before, Syclo is easy to implement. But years of experience have taught me one thing. Every, and I mean every project has challenges. Have Syclo help you to overcome these challenges. Be sure to set up a formalized process for this support. Keep track of issues and set recurring calls. So both Syclo and you are informed of each other's progress. It may sound obvious, but make sure to have a single point of contact at Syclo. The thing we realized a bit late is that it's very valuable to give Syclo a secure access to your systems. Their team can help solve issues on your own system. This is much more effective than a phone call. The information I shared is only the top of the iceberg, but I really hope that the experience of Alliander can help other companies in optimizing their operations. I also like to thank Syclo and SAP for offering us this platform to share our experience. Raj, you are welcome to take over again.
Thank you, Ronald. And certainly we'd like to work very closely with yourselves to better understand what you want to get out of mobile, where your organization is going, and help to discover the kind of ROI within your organization that would make mobile a real success. To this end, we'd be happy to work with you, to meet with your team and discuss and work together on a mobile business impact analysis. This is a study that we provide to our customers, which looks at the mobile potential within the organization and what kind of ROI can be gained. We'd certainly be able to demonstrate our solution working, and we can do that by WebEx or in an in-person meeting with yourself and with your team. But for now, feel free to contact myself directly or to contact Ronald Knoll for any kind of feedback that you may have or comments or thoughts. We very much want to take the next steps with you and we thank you for your time. And now, if there's any questions, we'll take those. Otherwise, we'll say thank you. Hope you've enjoyed this last 30 minutes, and we assure you there's lots more that we can tell you. We look forward to hearing from you.
Hello, everyone. This is Joe Granda, and thank you for being patient through the session, and thank you, Raj and Ronald, for speaking today. I will, and I promise that all of us, as we go through the Q&A session, will speak with the loudest and most booming voices possible to come across on your speakers there. So at this time, we're going to open this up to the Q&A. Keep putting in your questions, and we'll queue up the questions. We may not get to all of your questions, but we'll try our best, and if we don't respond to all of your questions, then we promise that we'll respond after the session. With that, I just want to point out Raj had to jump off, and Brian Nelson, a solution business consultant, he's going to help answer many of the questions as well. So I'm actually going to start and hand off the first question over to Brian here. Are you ready, Brian?
I am ready.
Excellent. We have both SAP for production and Maximo for maintenance. Can Syclo connect our handheld devices to both systems, either one at a time or both at the same time?
Well, the answer to that is, I guess, yes to both parts of the question. So we have integrated to both SAP and Maximo, and we do have solutions specifically tailored and pre-integrated to both of those. And if organizations actually utilize both systems or any, a wide range of different systems, a single user group can actually synchronize data between those multiple systems.
Excellent, excellent. The next question I have for you, and I'm going to keep Brian busy here. Do you have more information on the Smart Inventory Manager? What does it do exactly? How it's used? When it's required? Etc.
Yeah.
So if you can give a nice broad answer to that.
We can probably, I'm sure, definitely figure out who asked that question and get you some more detailed information. But the Smart Inventory Manager product is utilized by storeroom personnel, tool crib managers, people that are managing typically your MRO inventory. It could also be used or enhanced to include warehouse management functionality. But again, used by that storeroom personnel to help manage your inventory. So do things like physical or cycle counts, issue parts out of your storeroom, do purchase order receiving, pick and pack, etc.
Okay. I've got, just real quick, as I see a number of people asking whether there'll be a recording, just want everyone to know that there will be a recording available, and hopefully the sound, we'll make sure that the sound is all checked before we send it out. Here's another question for you, Brian. Mm-hmm. Can customers tweak the delivered applications? I know the answer to that one.
So absolutely. So all of our applications are built on our Agentry platform, and that's actually the platform we use to build our applications from scratch, our products that are delivered to our customers. We'll use that platform to configure that for their specific business requirements. Alliander went through a process, as they had mentioned during the presentation, of working with Agentry and Accenture to really configure the application to meet their specific business requirements. So that Agentry editor, which is our development tool, is also delivered to the customer as part of that product so that they can go ahead and configure it in future to meet their evolving needs. Hopefully that answers that question.
That sounds good.
Okay.
I've got one for Ronald, because we want to hear Ronald's voice. Ronald, did your users accept those small Motorola devices? Some of our older staff rejected our small devices because they had older eyes and couldn't read them.
Sorry, what are you asking me? Sorry.
Yes, Ronald, it's the question at the top. Did your users accept those small Motorola devices? Some of our older staff rejected our small devices because they had older eyes and couldn't read them.
Oh, the current user group does accept them, but for another user group, we're currently rolling out laptops, ruggedized laptops, so it's a different usage. So we handle both, but the current user group does use the smaller Motorola devices, and they're fine with that.
Okay. We already answered this question, but just real quick, does Syclo work with Maximo? And if Brian, just if you can confirm that.
Yep, that is still the case.
That's beautiful. I love it. I'm just going through the list of questions here. I'll assign this one to you, Brian. Ventex was mentioned in one of the early slides as an integration system. Which Ventex tools does Syclo integrate with?
Typically, where we've seen Ventex systems used with our customers is with their scheduling and assignment capabilities. And the assignments from the Ventex scheduling system will either flow directly to the mobile users or back to the work order management system, where those assignments get updated and then get pushed out to the mobile users. So there's a couple different ways that we can integrate with a Ventex system, either directly, so that we're, again, updating the Ventex system and retrieving information from the Ventex system, or having the work management system kind of be the central repository of all the data, whether it's work performed out in the field or the assignments that are being made within Ventex.
All right. I've got a question, and I'm gonna take this question here. In terms of support, can Syclo problems be entered into SAP OSS Note system, or do you go to Syclo Direct? And the way we work it is, as a co-innovation partner, Syclo being a co-innovation partner, we have taken the extra step of also becoming an enterprise support partner. We're enterprise support certified. And what that means is that you can go through SAP or Syclo and put in your problem tickets, and it essentially is invisible to you as the customer as the support, because our systems literally communicate with each other. And there's just a handful of partners that have that type of support connectivity between the two groups. Okay, here's another one, Brian, because I love throwing them at you here. How about support for Android and Apple portable devices? Do we have offline support there also?
Yeah, so one of our key benefits of our platform is the addition of being able to support multiple devices, or what we call platforms, within a single application. So you can actually deploy an application out to a wide variety of different device types and support that within a single application within your environment. Right now, we have full offline support, and we kind of went through a little bit of those with the presentation of Windows Mobile, a wide range devices, but we've added iPhone and iPad support, and we're working right now on adding Android support to the platform.
Perfect. Thank you, sir. Let's see here. I had a question here. After software is developed for your clients, does Syclo charge a yearly maintenance fee, or is it just a one-time charge for development only? Just a quick note, we do have a support and maintenance program, and we do support, that way we can support the product over the life of the solution. So I just want to answer that question there. Let's see here. I've got a question for you, Ronald, so get ready. As I scroll down this list, I have to, okay. This one here is, let's see here. How much did Alliander business have to change their processes to work with SAP and Syclo solution? Where SAP and Syclo could not be configured to meet the current business processes. Does that make sense, Ronald?
Yeah, very much. It's a question I hear very much, very often. Sorry. Basically, there is some limitation, especially with SAP, and how flexible you are in your processes. But it wasn't really a problem for us. The processes in the SAP systems are well suited for an organization as ours, and there were no extra limitations using Syclo on top of the SAP system. We didn't encounter that ourselves, so I doubt there's any problem with that.
All right. I've got a question here. Do you foresee SAP's purchase of Sybase having any direct impact on the SAP-Syclo relationship? It's unchanged. I'll answer that question. The relationship itself has remained unchanged. when Jim Snabe backs us up from SAP and says we're a key co-innovation partner, as well as others within the mobility team and across, basically across the board. So when you think about it, Syclo is the solution that is delivering asset management and field service solutions for SAP. That we're on all the product roadmaps, and we're going to continue to be on. And one of the things that we're doing now is we're working with the team, and now the team is a little different. It's not just SAP and Syclo. Now we have Sybase as part of that family, and we're having conversations now. The impact is that we're just talking to a bigger group of people, so to speak, and it's great because what we're able to do now is we're going to be supporting it and embracing the SAP unwired platform, or they call the SAP. And so what you'll see is over time, as we co-innovate, we're building products together, and we're going to continue on that and take care of our customers over the long term and make sure that it's a safe bet. We're going to actually, if someone puts in our solution today, they know that in a year's time we'll have the roadmaps defined specifically. We're going to be supporting the SUP as part of our solutions. It'll all be integrated, and you'll continue to be able to use Syclo's 100% configurable solution, but it'll be built on the SUP platform. So just that's our impact. It's actually good stuff because it's the relationship continues to get tighter. And the story about mobility obviously is very important within SAP, which is great. Here's a question for you, Brian Nelson, and I think we've got time for 2 more questions, okay? Do the mobile devices have barcode reading capabilities, and does this system support this?
They do. Many devices include integrated barcode readers. Some devices that don't, you can actually add third-party barcode readers so that you can input data via barcode. Agentry supports the barcode reads from these external devices in a couple different ways. There's a lot of the devices that have built-in barcode readers, such as the Motorola Intermec, Scion. There's a whole group, especially within the ruggedized device family, that we already integrate to so that we can actually do what we call perform actions against a barcode read. So with the example of Inventory Manager, I can walk up to a bin, scan the bin, and it'll pull up the details of what should be in that bin, where a user can then take a count on that. But we can build that integration with other devices that we don't currently support. Otherwise, they're just supported as what's called keyboard wedge. So it will just simply fill in that as long as the device can read, the scanner built into the device can read the barcode, it will actually just take that barcode, decode it, and enter in that decoded text, if you will, into our application.
All right. Continue to put in your questions because we'll take them, but this will be our last question that we'll answer on this call. So again, feel free to put in your last sets of questions, and we promise that we'll come back and answer your questions at a later time. With that, I'm going to end where we started with Ronald, and we've got one last question for you here, Ronald. The question I have here is, how long did the initial implementation take, and what were the Alliander manpower requirements?
The initial implementation, not considering the whole thought process we did before we ever selected Syclo, it was only a couple of months for the technical deployment, less than a half a year. And our key requirements, the main requirement was out-of-the-box functionality and good support on the SAP system. We see it as an extension of our system. And those were the main requirements we had.
Perfect. I think we're going to call it quits. I do see a question about GPS enabled, and I just want to point out real quick for those people, we support all sorts of peripherals, and just know that we do support GPS as well as cameras and other types of peripherals. So with that, I do want to say thank you all for joining us. We really appreciate your time. And again, we apologize for any of the sound quality issues. we will send out a recording link to everybody so that you'll have a nice, clean, beautiful recording that you can listen to the presentation at a later time. Thank you all, and have a great day.